Part 4. Chapter 1 Description of Vaivaswat Manu's lineage. Lineage of Vaivaswat Manu finds its origin at Brahma. Brahma was the first to appear from Lord Vishnu, who is the primitive cause for the whole creation. From the right-hand thumb of Brahma, Daksha Prajapati appeared. Daksha produced Aditi and Aditi produced Vivaswan. Manu was the son of Vivaswan. Ikshwaku, Nrig, Grisht, Sharyati, Narishant, Pranshu, Nabhag, Dishta, Karup and Prishadhra are the 10 sons of Manu. With a desire for a son, Manu organized a yajna to please the deities Mitra and Varuna. But during the yajna, because of a wrong resolution of oblata, a daughter named Ila was born to them. But by the grace of Mitra Varuna, she got masculine appearance and a name Sudyumna. In later course, by the wrath of Lord Shiva, Sudyumna was converted into a woman. In woman form. When Sudyumna was roaming near the hermitage of Buddha, the son of Chandrama, her beauty infatuated Buddha. As a result of their union, a son Pururva was born. Even after the birth of Pururva, Sudyumna could not give up his temptation to be a man again. Hence, learned sages organized a yajna for Sudyumna and got him converted into a man again. In masculine form, Sudyumna produced 3 sons, Utkal, Gaya and Vinat. Manu had presented a town named Pratishtha to Sudyumna, which he later on presented to Pururva. Pururva's progenies spread in all directions and acquired Kshatriya caste. Manu's son Prishadhra became a Shudra because of killing a cow of his teacher. Manu's another son, Karush, produced an exceptionally strong Kshatriya named Karush. Lineage of Dishta grew as follows: Nabhag, Balbandhan, Kirtiman, Vatsapriti, Pranshu, Prajapati, Khanitra, Chakshush, Vimbha, Vivimbhak, Khaninetra, Ativibhuti, Karandham, Avikshit, Marut. Marut had a son, Narishant. Lineage of Narishant grew as follows: Dama, Rajvardhan, Suvridhi, Keval, Sughriti, Nara, Chandra, Keval, Bandhuman, Veghvan, Buddha, Trinvindu. Trinvindu had a daughter Ilavila and a son Vishal. Vishal in later course founded Vishala. Lineage of Vishal grew as follows: Hemchandra, Chandra, Dhumraksh, Shrinjay, Sahdev, Krishaswa, Somadutta, Janmejya, Sumti. Manu's son Sharyati had a daughter Sukanya, who was married to sage Chavan in peculiar circumstances. Anart was the son of Sharyati. Anart had a son Ravat, who founded his capital at Kushasthali and ruled his kingdom on earth. Ravat had 100 sons, the eldest among whom was Kakudmi. He had a daughter Revati. Ravat took Revati with him and approached Brahma, who asked about a suitable match for her. At that time, Gandharvas were singing near Brahma. Ravat listened to their songs intently and forgot about the passage of time. Many ages passed like that, but Ravat felt as if only an hour had passed. When the Gandharvas stopped singing, Ravat once again asked Brahma about a suitable match for Revati. Brahma asked Ravat about his own choices first. Ravat counted the names of many deserving princes and kings, all of whom belonged to earth. Brahma said smiling, "No one even in the progeny of these people is alive on earth, because here, listening to the Gandharv's songs, you have passed 4 ages. Presently even the age of 18th Manu is about to end on earth, and Kali Yuga is about to start." These words frightened Ravat, who greeted Brahma and asked, "O Lord, now tell me, whom should I marry?" Revati too. Brahma said that unborn all-pervasive Parmeshwar Lord Vishnu had taken an Incarnation on earth. O king, your capital at Kushasthali, which was equal to Indra's abode, Amravati, is now Dwarkapuri. In that Dwarkapuri stays Baldev, who is a part of Lord Vishnu. Marry this daughter to him because she is a jewel among the women folk and Baldev is praised all over the world by all. Hence only he deserves to be your son-in-law. Hearing the verdict of Brahma, Prajapati Ravat descended on the earth and saw that an amazing transformation had taken place in the appearance of people who were now smaller in stature, ugly, dull and devoid of strength. Even his capital Kushasthali had acquired a new appearance and was now known as Dwarkapuri. Ravat found out Baldev and married his granddaughter Revati to him. But Revati appeared quite large and taller in stature than Baldev because of age difference. Baldev pressed her slightly with anterior part of his plough and she assumed a stature equal to normal women. After marrying Revati to Baldev, Ravat migrated to the Himalayas to observe penance. Chapter 2 Description of Ikshwaku's lineage. Ikshwaku was born from the nostril of Manu as a result of sudden sneezing. Ikshwaku had 100 sons, among whom Vikukshi, Nimi and Danda were prominent. Once Ikshwaku organized a Shraddha. For the purpose of feeding Brahmins, he ordered his son Vikukshi to bring fresh meat of wild animals. Taking his bow and arrows, Vikukshi set out for the forest and hunted many deer and rabbits. Towards noon, he felt tired and hungry and hence ate one rabbit from the stock. Then he reached the capital and handed over the remaining flesh to his father. But the sage Vashishta, who was conducting the Shraddha, revealed the truth to Manu. Thus, Vikukshi got the name of Shashad and was expelled by his father. Shashad in later course had a son, Purnajay. In the past, a fierce battle had taken place between the demons and the gods. The demons defeated the gods who approached Lord Vishnu for help. Lord Vishnu said, I am aware of your desire. I will appear in the body of Shashad's son Purnajay to kill the demons. But it is your responsibility to convince him for the battle. The gods approached Purnajay and requested, O great among the Kshatris, kindly help us to defeat our enemies. Purnajay said, Shatkratu is Indra. If I fight the battle riding his shoulder, I will be able to kill the demons. The gods accepted his condition. Indra took the guise of the bull riding which Purnajay killed the demons because Lord Vishnu had partially arrived in his body. Since then Purnajay got the name Kakutastha. He had a son Anena. Lineage of Anena grew as follows: Anena, Prithu, Vishtrabhva, Chandrayuvneshwa, Shavasta. Shavasta founded the town of Shavasti, modern Shravasti. Lineage of Shavasta continued as follows: Shavasta, Vrihdashva, Kuvalyashva, Dridashva, Tandrashva, Kapilashva. For a long time, Yuvanashva did not have a child. So, he organized a Putreshti Yajna in the auspices of learned sages. The yajna lasted for a whole day. At midnight, when the yajna ended, sages fell asleep because of tiredness, keeping the urn of yajna water near the altar. The water had been empowered with sacred mantras. Meanwhile, the thirsty king came there and drank that water from the urn. When the sages awakened, they inquired about the water in the urn. Yuvanash told them that he had himself drunk it. The sages told that as the water had been empowered with sacred mantras, and was meant for the queen in order to make her conceive. Hence the king instead of the queen will conceive now. As a result, Yuvanash conceived and in due course gave birth to a child from his right armpit. But the child's birth did not kill the king. The baby was Mandata. In due course Mandata ruled the entire earth, which was divided into 7 islands. Mandata married Bindumti, the daughter of Shatabindu. They had 3 sons, Purukutsa, Ambarish, and Muchukunda. They also had 50 daughters. When all the daughters grew young, a sage Sobri arrived in the palace and requested Mandata to marry one of his daughters to him. The sage appeared old and frail. So, Mandata hesitated and tried to send him off, making many excuses. The sage assured him about his physical abilities. But still the king felt hesitant and said, "O sage, it is our tradition that we marry our daughter only to he whom our daughter chooses as her husband. Your request is beyond our desires." Hearing Mandata's word, sage considered for a moment and said, "All right, O king. Kindly instruct the eunuch who guards the quarters of your daughters to escort me there." Fearing a curse from the sage, Mandata instructed the eunuchs to escort him into the quarters of his daughters. While entering the quarters, the sage assumed the appearance of an extremely handsome Gandharv. So, when he arrived there, a row started among the girls as to who would choose him as her husband first. Each one of them claimed that she had first chosen him. Thus, all the daughters of Mandata chose sage Sobri as their husband. When the eunuchs informed the king about this development, he fell in deep thoughts how it could happen. But still he was bound by his promise, so he had no choice but to marry all his daughters to sage Sobri. Marrying all the 50 girls, sage Sobri brought them to his hermitage. Calling Vishwakarma, he instructed him to build separate castles for each of his wives. In no time, Vishwakarma erected 50 beautiful palaces in a row. Each one of them had ample, spacious and airy rooms, surrounded by beautiful gardens. Since then, all the girls occupied those palaces and began to live there. Every kind of luxury and food was available to them. One day, drawn by the love for his daughters, King Mandata decided to visit Sobri's ashram. But in place of ashram, he found a row of beautiful palaces. There, he met his daughters and inquired about their well-being. The daughters informed him that they were happy to live with the sage and that their husband was capable enough to provide them with all the luxuries. But still they remembered their native place. Each of the girl also expressed one grief, that her husband enjoyed intimacy with her at all times and did not share time with her other sisters. These words of the girls surprised the king. Ultimately he met Sobri and worshipping him he said, "O Lord, it is the result of your severe penance that you are able to keep all the 50 girls happy." Staying there for a few days, the king returned. In due course, the daughters of Mandata gave birth to 150 sons. Those sons grew up and produced their progeny. At that time sage Sobri thought, "I have seen the birth of my sons. Now they have their own sons. If I stay there, I will long to see my great-grandchildren. Desires do not end till death. Acquiring a human body is in itself a great sorrow. I have received enough in life, enjoyed intimacy with 50 princesses. If I keep more desires, I will receive nothing but sorrow. Hence I should take to the penance of Lord Vishnu. Thinking that way, sage Sobri migrated to the forest along with his 50 wives. There they conducted yagyas and passed their time worshipping Lord Vishnu. Chapter 3 Mandata, Trishanku and Sagar. Once upon a time Gandharvas of collective name Monaya defeated the Nagas and snatched all their wealth and powers. The Nagas prayed Lord Vishnu to rescue them. Lord Vishnu told them that he would appear in Mandata's son Purukutsa and kill the Gandharvas. Afterwards Narmada brought Purukutsa to Rastal where Lord Vishnu appeared in his body. Thus having the strength of Lord Vishnu, Purukutsa defeated and killed the Gandharvas. Pleased by the action of Narmada, the Nagas blessed her with a boon that whoever remembered her would have no fear of snake venom, and Purukutsa that he would have an immortal son. Purukutsa and Narmada had a son Trasdasyu. Lineage of Trasdasyu continued as follows: Trasdasyu, Anaranya, Vihdashva, Haryashv, Hasta, Sumna, Tridhamva, Trayaruni and Satyavrat. Satyavrat became famous as Trishanku in later course. By the curse of a sage, Trishanku had become a Chandala. Once a drought occurred for 12 long years. During that drought, to get rid from this condition of Chandala and feed sage Vishwamitra, Trishanku used to tie a whole-skinned deer to a banyan tree on the bank of the river Ganges. Pleased by his selfless service, sage Vishwamitra sent Trishanku to the heaven with his ephemeral body. Lineage of Trishanku grew as follows: Trishanku, Harishchandra, Rohitashv, Harit, Chanchu, Vijay, and Vasudev. Vijay had a son Ruruk. Ruruk's son was Vrik, who had a son Bahu. Bahu had 2 queens. After a long time of their marriage, Bahu's queen consort conceived a son. But the circumstances took a strange turn. Bahu's enemies together attacked his kingdom and defeated him. The defeated king migrated to the forest along with his queens and began to live at the hermitage of Sage Orv. Very soon, King Bahu died of old age. His queen consort also wanted to commit sati, but Sage Orv prevented her from doing so. After some time getting envious of her fortune, the other queen deceitfully fed her with poison. But the poison could not harm the fetus, which stayed unborn for a period of 7 years because of poison's effect. Staying at the hermitage of Sage Orv, the queen consort gave birth to a son. Since the child was born with the effect of the poison, Sage Orv named him as Sagar. Sagar began to grow in his hermitage in natural surrounding. One day he asked his mother about his father. The queen narrated the whole incident to him. Sagar then and there took an oath to exterminate the Kshatriyas who had been the cause of his father's death. Acting as per his oath, Sagar destroyed Haya Kshatriyas, whereas Shak Kshatriyas got their heads shaven out of fear. Since those Kshatriyas had given up their religion, hence Brahmins boycotted them. As a result, they became Malecha. Thereafter King Sagar returned to his capital and ruled the earth.